I'm here with David Hussey, who's coxing the Ireland 5 quad, which has some pretty top-level athletes in it. David, tell us, who's racing in that quad for you?
Yeah, so what we have in the Ireland 5 quad, we have Ronan Byrne, he's just home from the Olympics, he was in a double. Alex Byrne, he was in the World Under-23s, they medalled, and the other two lads in the boat, Stephen Sullivan, Kieran Brady, they're also international athletes, have rowed in the coupe as juniors. So we've a pretty powerful crew. They're from the same club in Shandon in Cork, so they're well used to rowing together, and as mostly flat water athletes, but they're really itching to give this coastal rowing a go.
And you've been doing coastal rowing for some time. How long have you been doing it, and how did you get into it?
I probably started coastal rowing maybe about over 30 years ago in the fixed seats, and then transitioned over to the FISA rowing in Lima. Lima in Peru was the first go in the single in 2015. And from there on, the sport has just snowballed into the event we have here. We're on a beach here, just surrounded by boats, surrounded by nations and crews, and it's growing, and becoming more and more popular. And we heard a press release there about the 2028 Olympics. There's a lot more certainty about that event now, so we're delighted with the progression of coastal.
It's amazing. And now, with your experience, when it comes to being out there on the water, how would you describe what it's like for those at home?
You've got all the elements required of coastal on the water. You have a drift, you have a serious current, maybe between 4 and 6 knots. You have a breeze blowing, and you also have a very tricky course to navigate. You have about a kilometre the first leg, a kilometre the second, and from then you have to pick your marks along the shore and navigate in between the maybe third mark to the 7th mark. So there's a lot of manoeuvring, and it's pretty difficult when you've got maybe 20 more quads for company.
So what are your tips for anybody who's thinking about getting into coastal rowing?
It takes a while to get the hang of it from the coxing and from the rowing point of view, so I suppose the best tip is to start steady and enjoy it and experiment with settings, etc. And once you're comfortable and once you're enjoying it, go rougher, and then you can build yourself up to taking part in an event like this, where you're dealing with the waves and the drift and dealing with all the other crews as well, who are all jostling for position. There's nobody going to say, excuse me, can I go over there? It's a contact sport in so many ways. There are rules obviously, but you have to get the best line for that first mark. I think that's the real secret of coastal rowing, is get out in the start and get a clear run at it. If you tip blades or if you tip that mark with your rowers, you're going to lose ground.
That's brilliant. Well, David, look, thanks so much. Great to get some insight into what it's really like out there and how to get into it.
Yeah, and thank you, Peter, and thank you to all the organisers of this event. And I just especially want to say a big shout to all those kids down there that are doing all the little jobs, the lifting boats, they're taking temperatures. They're 15, 16, 14, but they really are a credit to the Portuguese nation, the work they're doing here today. So it's brilliant to see that.